Welcome to Clutch Entrepreneurs Podcast, Episode 4. Today I have a very special guest who started in the game at the same time as me. So, might I add, he's done some amazing things in this time, all right? Not only is he in wholesale and real estate, but he's also a mentor and coach who's helped over 400 students, okay? Out of those 400, he's helped 30 create multiple six-figure incomes, and out of that, he's helped create 4 millionaires. That's crazy. You're talking about changing families forever, right? All right, guys, and that's not even the biggest part. In the actual business, he's had a month where he closed over $150,000 in 1 month. That's crazy, right? What could that do for your family? All right, and not only that, but his first EP, Entrepreneur Music, has generated over 500,000 streams across all platforms with no marketing. My guest, Earon Bevans.
What's really good, man? With an intro like that, bro, you got me. I'm not gonna be able to walk through the room, bro.
Man, it's crazy. Hey, it's been a long run, man. What? Actually, I wouldn't even consider it long. How long has it been since we started in this game?
I mean, about 5 years.
Going on 5.
We met 4 years ago, but yeah, I think we both started around 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember. I hit you up one time, and I was just like, "Hey, yo, Earon," because you're already on the Instagram stuff, and I was like, "Yo, help me make a video, bro."
Yeah.
Help me make a video. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And what happened? We met at a Starbucks.
We met at Starbucks at North Star Mall. And basically we chopped it up. But how we really connected, where I knew that me and you, I'm like, man, this is going to be somebody I'm going to rock with for a long time, is even though we were there to talk about how we can connect and build each other's brand up, we really connected on the self-development, mindset, books that we were reading, and Bob Proctor, bro.
Oh,
we ended up talking for like 45 minutes about Bob Proctor and different things that you and I had got from him, because we both viewed him as like a distant mentor.
Shout out Bob Proctor.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. Rest in paradise. One of my mentors that I still look up to this day. And I remember it was funny because I said I was the Mexican Bob Proctor.
That's right. That's right, bro. That's right.
And I stayed true to that. So
facts. I still sometimes call you the Mexican Bob Proctor.
You do. And guys, if you don't know who Bob Proctor is, I highly encourage you to look him up and then just go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That will change your life. If you go on YouTube and type Bob Proctor and go down the rabbit hole of suggested videos, your life will change in 6 months if you apply the principles of what he teaches.
Facts.
And actually, you know what's something kind of crazy? So that's like my real passion. Real estate, I love real estate. I love making money, right? Because it takes care of our family, and we got to do that first. But not only that, but our time and stuff. But self-development and just everything that he's on, mindset, is my favorite topic. That's what I study the most in life. What's some of your favorite topics?
Self-development is right up there. That's why me and you connect so heavy on it. Lately, bro, I've been on the psychology tip.
Okay.
I've been studying psychology, how the human mind works. And the reason why is because, just like you, bro, I'm obsessed with being great, right? I want to know how I can take my potential to the next level. And so I heard a quote from, I want to say it was Pat Bet David, where he says, if you want to be great, then you need to study your craft. So you need to master your craft. He says, then you need to study people, because the third thing you need to study is sales, right? And marketing. But you can't really master sales and marketing unless you master people.
Okay.
And so, bro.
What does that even mean, though, mastering people? Like, what does that mean?
Mastering people means understand what makes humans tick. What motivates them? What compels them? What catches their attention? What's important to people? It's like if you and I went fishing and we had no idea what bait our fish that we're fishing for are attracted to, it's going to be hard if we're just throwing out lines and guessing. Right. But if we understand the fish we're looking for, we know what depth they're at, we know what attracts them. Well, now our propensity to be able to catch fish is higher, right? So our job as entrepreneurs and as influencers, we need to catch people's attention. We need to capture people's wallets. That's what we do. So in order to influence people, right, we have to understand them. So going down the rabbit hole, psychology, understanding people, I've been studying the 6 human needs that is universal, no matter where we come from. You know what I mean? That's been crazy for me lately.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard of that. So can you explain a little bit about that?
The 6 human needs?
Yeah.
Bro, check this out. Peep game, fam. This is something. Shit. By the way, I learned this. I didn't come up with this on my own. W. Clement Stone, Napoleon Hill, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, some of the greatest, right? They all talked about these 6 universal human needs that we have. And what they are, number one, it's significance. Every human needs to feel significant. And we all seek significance in some way, shape, or form. From the time we're babies, we're seeking significance.
Okay.
The baby seeks significance by crying to get the attention, to be important to other people. Every human being has a need for significance. By the way, these 6 human needs, each individual personality might have varying amounts of each need or desire, but we all need them fulfilled in some way, shape, or form in order to be fulfilled, happy in life, successful. So the first human need is significance. The second need is contribution. Every human has to have fulfilled this need to be able to make the lives of other people better in some way, shape, or form, or to be a part of a cause that's bigger than them, to contribute to society as a whole in some way, shape, or form.
Makes sense.
The third human need is connection and love, right? We all need that. That speaks for itself. These next 2 are interesting, bro. The fourth human need is certainty. Every human needs to know that to a certain degree, they're going to be able to perform the next task, whatever it is, whether it's walking outside or going to work. In some way, shape, or form, they need a level of certainty that assures them they're not going to die in doing this. Every human being needs certainty, and where certainty lacks, unhappiness arises, right? Dissatisfaction arises. So we need a measure of certainty. But here's what's crazy about it. If there's too much certainty in life, what happens?
You can become complacent.
We get complacent and we get bored.
Yeah.
Because imagine a woman needs certainty from her man, right? She might call it security. She might call it safety, but she needs certainty from her man.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if he wears the same clothes, calls her the same pet names, it's the same sex position, goes to the same date night, everything is the same every single week. Well, now it's predictable and now she gets bored. So the fifth human need is spontaneity, variety. In other words, uncertainty. So it seems like a contradiction, but it's not, right? If there's too much certainty, then we get stale. So we need variety. So this is a human need that we have. But the sixth human need, bro, this is my passion. The sixth human need is growth. Every human being, to some degree, JR, and you know this, bro, we're both the same way. If we feel that we've gone a month or a quarter or a year without growing, bro, there's this feeling of stale, ugly. Every human has an inherent need to feel like their capacity, their capability, and their knowledge is expanding at all times. So these are the six human needs. And if we understand them, then we can influence people in any walk of life, any color, any age, any language. We can influence people.
That's deep. I never heard of that one, and all those make sense. Cause definitely growth, right? Cause when I don't grow, I feel like there's just something like I want more life. I want more, right? It's true. So I'm definitely gonna write that down. That was a good one, man. So bro, so psychology.
Yep.
I'm obsessed with it. That's what you've been studying lately.
Yep.
So that's kind of like, that is like actual psychology. Mine, I think what I'm more obsessed with is like mindset. Do you think there's a difference there?
I think that they rub shoulders, bro. Yeah. They rub shoulders because psychology is the way the mind works, right? That's psychology. So, wait, do I have that right? Psychiatry is the brain. Yeah, psychiatry, I want to say, is the biochemical machine, the workings of the human brain. Psychology is the workings of the human mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I want to say mindset and psychology, they rub shoulders. They sleep in the same bed. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think mindset is more directing. Like it's directing your thoughts, right? So mindset is like being able to be the difference between the way somebody thinks that's not successful and the person that is successful. There's a difference in their mindset, the way they choose to think. I guess it's psychology too, right? It might be the same thing. I'm not sure. I didn't go to school for it. Facts. I just know that this is what I like. Facts. Like, have you? So, like, who are some of your favorite like influencers, mentors that you look up to? Yeah. So, especially on the psychology tip, I think I follow most of the influencers and successful people based on their psychology or based on their mindset, the way they think. I would have to say
the people that I study. By the way, watch this. You've read Think and Grow Rich, right?
Oh yeah. I have it in my bag. Right? I always read it.
Same, bro. I always say that I keep that thing on me, bro.
Yeah.
I keep it on me the way religious people keep a Bible.
Same thing.
I keep Think and Grow Rich.
That's crazy.
Do you remember in Think and Grow Rich, The Sixth Sense?
Yes.
He talks about his invisible boardroom. I've been doing this for the last 2 years, brother. Bro, it has changed my personality. And for those that don't know, the sixth sense is the ability to use your imagination to create an invisible boardroom with your heroes. And what will eventually happen as you study your heroes, you do an invisible consultation in your imagination with them every morning or every evening, however you decide.
That's crazy.
And you let them sit at your table and you ask them for advice, and you let your imagination with no impedance, you let your imagination, what he calls access infinite intelligence through your creative imagination, and allows them to consult you. So whenever you, and by the way, it's insane if you practice this. This is something I've been doing for 2 years, and I can say that my invisible boardroom has become pretty real to me in my imagination, and I go to them for advice. So to answer your question, I'm going to tell you who my invisible boardroom is. These are my people.
Can I guess one of them?
Please.
Is Patrick Bet-David?
Come on, bro.
Because I've seen his the painting on his wall, and he has that. He has like Tupac, Senna,
That's
Einstein,
Abraham Lincoln,
Martin Luther King, and the way he said he picked them by two people with opposing views. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's where
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize what that was until he spoke about it on a YouTube video, and then I connected it with what I read in the.
That's where he got it from.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm gonna tell you mine. So mine, I sit at the head of the table because I'm the chairman of the board, right? To my right is Patrick Bet-David. Sitting next to him right here is Tony Robbins. Sitting at the end of the table on the right-hand side is Warren Buffett. Sitting at the foot of the table where you're sitting is Napoleon Hill. Sitting right next to him, to my left at the far end left hand of the table is Kobe Bryant. Next to Kobe Bryant is Drake, the music artist Drake. And then next to Drake is Steve Jobs.
Wow.
And I chose these 7 board members based off of there are particular aspects of their personality and their success that I want to yield from them. I want to learn from each member of these people.
That was a fire lineup right there.
That's my lineup.
That's a fire lineup, bro. Dang, Kobe.
Kobe's there.
I think Kobe would be in one of mine.
Come on, bro.
Kobe would be in one of mine.
Absolutely.
RIP. Man, Kobe would definitely be in one of mine.
Yep.
I haven't done it yet. I don't have one, but I think I'm going to do that tonight.
It's wild, bro. I'm telling you. You do this, and he warns you in the book. He warns you. He was afraid to put it in the book because he was afraid that people would think that he was crazy.
Right, that sounds crazy.
And he even warns us in the book, they're going to become so real, you may question your sanity.
Oh.
You may question your sanity. And I can tell you, bro, I have made decisions based on advice that I've asked them. And there's a psychological reasoning for it.
Yeah.
The psychological reasoning is sometimes whenever you and I have a decision block, a brain fart where we have a big decision we need to make, we don't know what article to read, we don't know who to ask. And it's like, man, how do I know it's the right decision? He says the greatest source of decision making is infinite intelligence. And infinite intelligence communicates to the human mind through the creative imagination. And so what better way than to remove the impedance of your own conscious mind, because our own conscious mind will be like, nah, that can't be you know how we overthink. Yeah. That can't be the decision because I can think of all the reasons why that wouldn't work. Right? Uh-huh. So in order to remove that conscious impedance, we have the individuals we want to emulate in our invisible boardroom, and we ask them and we let them answer us. And the cool thing is because it's them and not our conscious mind, we tend to have ideas flood us because there's no impedance of my own mind saying anything. It's Kobe gave me that advice. Pat gave me that advice. Tony gave me that advice.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
No, that's super interesting, bro, because think about it, like all we are is a soul. Like when we pass, we don't get any lighter. Like if you waste somebody when they're alive, and then the moment your weight doesn't change. So we're weightless, right? We're just a spirit. So that just, what is this that we're in right now? It's just our body that we use, but really it's our spirit.
That's right.
Right? So, I mean, why couldn't you be able to talk to spirits, right?
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. It sounds crazy. And like I said, I don't know. I've never done it. But, you know, if you're watching these things, I'm crazy. I don't know. But it sounds like it's helping a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So that might be a little golden nugget you might want to try. Who are the people that you look up to? Who are the people that you want to be like? Who are the people that you would like to make decisions like? Who you would like to live like? I don't know. Create your own boardroom. I'm going to do it. I'm definitely doing it tonight. Yeah. I guarantee you Kobe's going to be on there. Kobe, I'll probably put Jay-Z on there. I'll probably put PBD. Grant Cardone, Price, Jesus Christ, man, the goats, all the goats, all the goats. Come on, man. All right, but let's see how it goes. So next up, I think when we first met, I think you were getting into wholesaling, but no, we met through Frank. I don't know if you remember Frank.
Oh my God, bro! Are you serious?
That's how we met, through Frank.
You're lying to me.
Yeah, no, because he sent me a house, and I went to go look at it, and I had a buyer, I think, and he was like, "Well, let me call my partner Earon," and I was like, "All right," and then somehow we started talking. But it was through Frank.
I forgot about that, JR. Yeah. We were just chopping before the show started, and I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
Yo, that's right. Yeah.
And I think y'all were both in mobile home sales.
That's right.
So was that your first sales job, or?
My first sales job, bro, I was broke at the time because I was painting. And
you were painting?
Not even creative painting, like construction paint. I was doing construction paint. Yeah.
Who were you painting with?
This was a mom and pop little owner. You know what I mean?
Painting houses,
inside trim, outside exteriors. And my wife at the time, she had a business as a hairstylist. Okay, she was a colorist. And so she talks to me after 2 years. She comes home and she's like, "Earon, I want to talk to you. I don't like the way I'm starting to feel about you." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "My business is growing and I'm growing as a person, and I feel like you're not growing as a person. And it has nothing to do with your money." So it wasn't a materialistic conversation, but it was a growth conversation. But the fact of the matter is, because I wasn't growing mentally, emotionally as a person, neither was my finances. And she didn't like the fact that she was starting to feel like she was carrying me. And so it got me on this tip of, okay, how can I make more money? How can I grow? Self-development. And I'm a high school dropout, bro. So I didn't have any inherent skills. I didn't have any trades that I knew. So I'm like, man, where can I make a lot of money legally and not have to go get a license, not have to go. And so I found sales. So my first job, bro, I was looking on Facebook. It was direct to seller sales in Costco's and Sam's Club. I would stand at these kiosks, and I was the one selling whatever it is for the day.
Oh, you're one of those guys selling AT&T.
Yeah, bro. That's right. Yeah. That was right. That's me.
Tough.
That's me. Yep, 100%. That's where I cut my teeth. And then from there, I went to door-to-door sales in selling energy.
Okay.
And that's where I really feel like I sharpened my saw. You know, I cut my teeth in the direct to seller, but I cut my teeth I sharpened my saw in door to door, because, man, you want to talk about it being like there's no hiding from the suffering. You know what I mean? You come face to face with your rejection, face to face with your fears, and it's relentless. It's door after door after door after door for 8 hours, bro. Weeks on end. So that's where I say I really started to. And then whenever I moved, I built a whole team. That's where I saw my first money, door-to-door sales, because I started building the team. I bought a big old white van. And I would take my team into the field door to door every single day. And then my mom got diagnosed with cancer. She lives here in San Antonio. So I pretty much let my business go, came out here, and that's when I found the mobile home sales position, and that's when we met.
So, man, like door-to-door knocking, door-to-door sales is like the university of sales. Like if you go there and if you can be successful in door to door, you will be a great salesperson. That's the best training, because what is the most scary? Like, you're a coach.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing that you have to people to overcome? It's probably like the phones, making that call.
Yep.
Okay, this is that, but even worse.
Yep.
It's knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not okay. A phone call you can hang up if you get scared. A door knock, if they're open that door, that's it. You're face to face with your fear.
Yeah.
And I did that for years too. So that's how I started. Mine was just trying to cut grass, trying to make money. But I remember getting rejected all the time, just being like, oh, man. But it made me strong. Because I can get rejected, and I would go 8 hours, and like, whatever. I'm just looking for that next sale. I want to make that next 500, 1,000, whatever. And but that's, like, I've literally had a gun pulled out on me on door-to-door knocking. Like, crazy stuff, right? And,
Same.
So if you're door knocking, and you're successful, man, shout out to you. You're a great sales agent. And I'm actually interviewing somebody on Tuesday. Because he told me he's been door knocking for 3 years, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I might have found one. Mm-hmm. So if you're in door knocking and you're looking to start in wholesaling real estate, send me a DM on IG straight up, and I'm being honest. So you get into the mobile homes, that's where we met, and then you jump into wholesaling real estate. Yeah. So what it was Frank the one that introduced you to it, or how did that go?
I actually learned about wholesaling real estate on that journey when I was looking for how to make money without, a license or a trade or anything. There was a seminar that came to Chicago because that's where I was living at the time. Oh, okay. There was a seminar that came there. It was a legacy Rich Dad, Poor Dad seminar. And they were teaching people different skill sets, like different aspects of real estate. And so we went to the seminar for free, and the guy was talking about at a certain segment how he was making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 by getting properties under contract and selling the paper without having to use any of his own money or credit. I was sold, bro. I was like, say less. If this is real, I think I might have found a gold mine. Because I had never heard of wholesaling contracts, wholesaling real estate before. So I'd already heard about it, but it wasn't until I was selling mobile homes and I heard Frank talk about wholesaling that I was like, oh snap, this is somebody who's really doing it. Yeah. And Frank was this, chulo looking dude, you know what I'm saying? Who he was killing it on the sales floor. And then he would go and make an additional 15, 20K a month wholesaling real estate. I'm like, my guy, please put me on, show me how to do it. Yeah. So he showed me what to do, and I started generating leads and contracting deals. And he was my dispo guy. So that's how I met you, right? Yeah. Because he connected the deal that I had with you. Yeah, I remember that. Did you end up getting that deal sold?
I don't think I did. Okay. It was on the south side, like off Roosevelt and 410. Okay. I forgot what it was with that deal, but we didn't end up moving. Oh, no, hold on. I think I did move it.
You probably did, bro.
It was when I first started, bro. Yeah. I think I did. But anyway, so shout out to Frank if you're watching this. Frank was a cool dude. I haven't heard from him in a minute, but he taught me some stuff too. Okay, so now you're in wholesaling real estate, and man, now you're doing a lot of things in wholesaling, right? Yeah. So what do you like about wholesaling? Like, why did you think that? Like, why is this the business?
Yeah, for me, it was the fact that I didn't need a license to get started. I didn't need a trade to get started. I could go on YouTube. I could learn what I need to learn. And I can put in the effort, and I can make in the next 3 to 6 months. I knew I could hit $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 because I was seeing other people do it. So it's not that I inherently like every aspect and feature of wholesaling real estate, calling on the phones and getting rejected. I just knew that I had already been door knocking, and calling people on the phone, cold calling, was so much easier than door knocking. And I stand to make a commission 100 times bigger than the $100 sales that I was making door knocking, selling energy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, listen, this is a no-brainer for me. So that's what excited me about it. Then what kept me wholesaling real estate is I always had the vision. After I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then that took me to the cash flow quadrant, I always had this vision of building what I consider, this is me, the ultimate asset, which is not a house, but a business, a process that I own that other people work for me. So from the very beginning, I was like, this could be my business. Because all I got to do is learn the technique, learn the skill and method, Then I can create a process around it and then put other people in place to do the technical work for me so I could do what I've always wanted to do, which is build an actual business that runs without me. So that's what's kept me. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I inherently just love wholesaling. It's like, it's a cash cow that I can turn into a business.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still here.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And it's a whole different skill set, though, like making a wholesale company and wholesaling.
Facts.
That's a way big difference right there.
Just like it's a different technique to be a mechanic and own an automotive, shop.
Right.
It's two different skill sets.
Way different. Yeah, that's interesting because you can be like a really good mechanic or wholesaler, but creating a business out of it is tough. Because I was an okay wholesaler, but I was a way better operator. Business
Talk
operator.
to me, bro.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, because like I sucked at cold calling, bro. I sucked at almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, like, when I was started wholesaling, I almost sucked at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I delegated everything very quickly, which I don't know. They say don't do that, but that's what I did.
Same.
Like, as soon as I started cold calling, I was like, yo, this is whack.
Yep.
Automatically, I did it for like a day, and then I hired a VA. Here's this script. Generate me some leads. Then I just got the leads, and I'd start calling the leads. I'm like, damn, I suck at this too. That's why I don't join those like closer Olympics and all that. I'm like, bro, I ain't a closer, bro. Like, I'm a business owner. I don't know. So I immediately hired the acquisition agent.
Yeah.
They suck because I didn't even train them good, but I just kept going. Like, fuck it, hire more. We'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll build systems. And then Dispo I was good at. I did like Dispo. But then now we're at this point, and it's just like, dang, now it's a whole new level. Taxes and accounting and escrow and freaking IRS and lawyers and attorneys. Now it's a game. Now it's the game. We're getting to certain levels, and it's awesome. But shout out to everybody doing wholesaling, man, because wholesaling is a great business. How long do you think you're always going to do it, or do you think it's just a step to another thing, or?
Wholesaling for me is something that I'm going to do forever.
Yeah.
I don't see it ever going out of style. Wholesaling as a concept, which is buying low and selling high, is fundamental to economics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just do it with real estate.
Right.
So as long as the average common human in Western civilization can buy real estate of their own accord and they have the right to own land, wholesaling will exist. Right. In some way, shape, or form. To buy it low and sell it high, it will exist. Right. So I'm going to be doing it forever. I feel like the profit margins, it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, what do you think about regulations? Because they say, because we're like in the wild, wild west. It's a baby industry. It's maybe like 10, 15 years old. Maybe only like less than 10 years old mainstream. Getting very popular. Yep. What do you think? There's talk about regulations because you know who doesn't like us? Realtors and brokers.
Facts.
So, they're a powerful force in real estate, right? They're the oldest. They're the biggest. There's way more of them than there are wholesalers.
And they have money to lobby.
Right. And they're powerful. So there's talks of that. Yep. So, what do you think about that?
I welcome regulation. Anybody who says regulation is not coming is lying to themselves. It's absolutely coming because I'm watching in our communities, JR, people like us become 7-figure earners. When everyday people start to make millions of dollars, and there's no regulation, believe regulation is coming, bro. Right? Because we're eating off of people's plates. As much as people say, oh, collaboration over, no, we're eating off of people's plates. And so regulation's coming. I welcome it though, because when regulation comes, then so does credibility and so does validity. Whenever Henry Ford, whenever he decided that he wanted to scale the automotive, the horseless carriage, which is the car, because he didn't invent the car, right? He just scaled it. It was already invented. He just scaled it. He had the vision to belt the entire world with the horseless carriage.
That's a good point.
Before he did that, people were like, this contraption is going to explode on us, right? Because they were used to horses and carriages. Right. When regulation hit is whenever the business really took off. Because now that it's regulated by the government, now people are like, hey, well, it's regulated, so I must be able to trust it. I think it's gonna happen the same thing whenever it comes to wholesaling. Now, whenever regulation hit, the barrier of entry skyrocketed, right? Yes. But that doesn't mean the industry goes out. It just means whoever is willing to scale that wall is just going to have more on the other side because there's less people who can enter the game. So I have in my heart, doesn't mean I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm going to start other businesses, but I'm always going to be wholesaling real estate as far as my heart goes as of right now.
I like that point, but yeah, because right now anybody can do it, like anybody. And I believe that if there's regulations, we'll be the ones on the good side of that because it's gonna eliminate a lot of people.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I also, like you, I welcome it.
Yep.
So like you said, you're an entrepreneur and you're gonna scale more businesses. Are they all like horizontal, like, or they're all vertical? What, like, do you do it across different industries? Do you stay in the same one and go deeper? What do you like to do?
I guess you would say they're the same vertical, just different angles. For example, I started with my wholesaling company. This was my passion, building a business around this cash cow, right? Wholesaling real estate. Then from there, I started coaching how to wholesale real estate. And I started making a lot of money. I made my first 6 figures in my first 2 months of coaching. It took me a whole year and a half to get my first 6-figure month wholesaling real estate. I made my first 6-figure month 2 months, 8 weeks into education. So when I said that, I'm like, I'm never going to stop education. Even if I'm not educating on wholesaling real estate, I'm going to go learn something else and educate on that because education money, I've never seen anything like it. Ever seen anything like it. But so I guess it's technically 2 different verticals, right? You have wholesaling real estate, then you have education.
I would say, but it's one and the same because you're teaching wholesaling.
Exactly. So I call it same vertical, just a different angle.
I got you.
All right. Then I read a book called Profit First. And there's a chapter in Profit First, JR, that says a phrase that changed my life and my viewpoint on business. It says, most entrepreneurs want to be the rainmaker, which means we know how to make it rain. You and I, we know how to make money.
Create revenue.
Create revenue.
Okay.
You and I know how to create and generate revenue. That's a rainmaker. He says, but at a certain level in business, you need to stop doing the rain dance and focus on how to dig your own well. And what he means is, right, they're both sources of water, but most of us are sitting on acres of diamonds of opportunities, and it's underneath the ground, so we can't see it. He says you need to look for the opportunities you're already sitting on, not just make it rain. And what that looks like is ask this question as an entrepreneur. These are my current expenses in business. How can I do twice the amount of production on a third of the expenses? That's the impossible question. But life is about questions. The only reason why you and I are not further along, JR, is because we've only asked questions that got us here. But if we were asking billion-dollar questions, I guarantee me and you, our net worth would be twice what it is now. If we were asking the billion-dollar questions, but me and you were asking the $100,000 questions. That's why we're only where we are now. But if we ask the question, how can I do twice the production on a third of the expenses, it would force you to become creative and answer it. So I started asking that question, and I realized that one of my biggest expenses was my marketing. So I was like, man, how can I double my production on a third? And I said, it led me finally to the conclusion of, man, I'm going to start my own marketing company. And so that's what I did. I found somebody boots on the ground in Philippines, and I started a virtual staffing company. So now I have I started that company, JR. Well, here's what's crazy about it. I started that third company to offset the expenses because marketing was my biggest expense. It turned out to be my most profitable company to date. So now not only is it my most profitable company, but I get my marketing for free in my company because I own the company. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
So I get it at a wholesale value. So
I like that.
So my companies are all the same. They're all in the same vertical. It's just different angles to each company. And I believe that's, if you imagine my organization will be a tree, and all of my companies are simply branches and offshoots to those trees. Yeah. To the trunk, right. I should say.
But they all relate, right?
They all relate.
They all strengthen each other.
They all strengthen each other and feed each other. Absolutely. Yep.
Right. So I mean that's where I'm
at. Because look, my education company, I get JV deals from my wholesale company. I do joint venture deals with my mentees. I sell my mentees VAs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I use the expertise from being in the front line and operating a 7-figure wholesale company to teach my mentees. And my VA company, I have callers that work in my VA company for my company. So I mean, it's just an ecosystem that I'm creating, and that's how I want to build my organization like that.
That's sick. I like that. I'm the same way. I believe in building all within the same industry vertical, like basically just having each company back each other up.
Yep.
I tried the coaching thing. I didn't like it.
Really?
I canceled. Remember I told you I was gonna start that thing?
Yeah.
We both started. I had a lot of students. And then, man, I don't know.
Really? Just wasn't your thing?
I didn't like it.
Wow.
I like operating. I don't know.
Respect.
I might do it. It's not to say that I won't do it again.
Sure.
It just wasn't the right time.
For sure.
So I want to continue building this. You know, it was good money. Don't get me wrong. It was great money. I liked the value that I was, I was definitely helping them. They were telling me all the time, like, they didn't want to quit. They were like very upset that I was shutting it down. But it just wasn't for me. I don't know. I couldn't. It's just not the right time.
Sure.
But I might get back into it. It was fun.
One thing I know about you, bro, is that I think you don't take something 100% unless you feel like you could be a real player in doing that. I seen you do that with wholesaling. I seen you doing that with the trading whenever you're doing the trading. And I've seen you doing that with flips. You know what I mean? And I've seen you do that with your social media. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I know that if you ever do come back, not only would you bless a lot of people, bro, but I feel like you would take it to the next level.
No, I'm going to do it. I just think I need it to the point like this company isn't where we need it. I got big goals for this company. I want to be in multiple cities. I want to. I have a certain revenue per month that I want to hit. That's like
for your wholesaling company.
Yeah, and I want a certain amount of cash flow before I hit it. And it's gonna take so much of me that I need to focus on it. Once I hit certain goals, like a certain amount of cash flow every month from the business and cash flow from the investment properties, then I'm gonna go heavy in it because I like to go all in. Like social media, I'm all in. I guaranteed I dedicate 2 videos a week to YouTube, a podcast, reels every day. I dedicated myself to that. So between this, what we're doing now, social media, what you guys see here, between this wholesale company and the actual investing, those 3 things occupy my full, like all my energy. They take up all. So I tried to do the next one and I was just like, it was stretching me too far out.
Got you.
And the rate of return, like on my time wasn't as, you know what I mean, of this.
Completely makes sense.
So that's where I'm at on that. But I did like it. It was cool. I still like doing, pop-ups and stuff like that. So we'll get back into that soon. Because we started, remember, we're like, let's see how many students we can get.
Yeah.
But, I did it, but I just, So wholesaling, man, what was your biggest fee to date?
Biggest fee wholesaling real estate, $75,000.
Sheesh. What was it?
$75,000. It was on Morningside. I'll never forget. And it was a dentist's office. The gentleman's name was his last name was Kellogg's. And he's actually from the Kellogg's family.
Really?
Dude, we're talking, these are some of the wealthiest people in America.
The cereal.
Kellogg's,
wow.
So the owner came from that lineage, and he's very old already. And the dentist's office was in a nice side of town, and it was busted and disgusted. And
busted and disgusted.
he had a broker that was working it. I made my initial offer based off of what the other houses in the area were selling for. I didn't even comp it properly, bro. I didn't know what I was doing.
Really?
So, but I made him an offer based off of what houses in that area would be selling for ARV, and said, well, if that's what a house would sell for, then a 2-story commercial property with, an entire 30 parking spots, I'll contract it at that price. So I made the offer at like $700,000, something like that. And they said no because somebody else won the bid. And man, I was like, shoot, I know I could have made money on that. I felt like I could have made money on it. And but I remember asking him before we got off the phone, if you don't mind, if the current buyer that you have falls through, please call me back right away. I'd still like to purchase the property. He said, absolutely. 1 month later, he calls back saying, "Hey, Earon, are you still interested in that dentist office?" I said, "No way." And we got it contracted. We sold it within about 24, 48 hours. And we closed in about 2 weeks. $75,000, man. Changed my identity for sure.
Was that the building in Alamo Heights?
I want to say it was Alamo Heights, bro.
Did Rosa buy that?
Yes, she did.
Shout out Rosa the closer.
Shout out Rosa the closer. She bought that deal from us, from her, with using her private money lender.
Wow.
And that was a $75,000 deal.
That's the time I met you. The title company were popping bottles.
That's right, because that was my first 6-figure month, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first 6-figure month. Yeah, a quick little $75K of help for sure.
Nice. Dang.
Yep.
So that's a life changer. What did that look like? Like, how did that change your business?
Changed my business in a major way because the first way I would say is belief.
Mm-hmm.
My identity changed, right? We did less work on this deal than we do with most of our deals that only clear 5, 10, 15K.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that amount of money hit the bank account in a wire, it did something to my psychology. You know what I mean? I was walking different, talking, and now my belief level, like, man, it's possible for us to generate these types of monies, you know? So I would say belief. The second thing is mentorship. Immediately I started looking for mentorship that was next level. So that's when I got into the all-in mentorship and started really looking at how I can take this to a business that's running without me.
Okay. Shout out Carlos and Sal.
Carlos, Sal, absolutely. And Alex at the time, they were with Alex, and so all three of them coached me. Yeah.
Shout out them boys. I'm still in the business. I haven't figured that part out yet, not to be in the business, but I like it. I like being an operator because I feel like I'm the force behind the growth. I guess once it gets to a certain point, I figure how you can stabilize it and then walk away. But that's not it for me. Like, I like the growth. Like, how big can we take it? You know, because there's not many companies that do certain types of figures and wholesaling because it's hard to scale. You know, it's hard. It is. And so I'm an operator. Yeah. Eventually I'll be out, or you know, but I'm young. I love it. You know what I mean?
Bro, I feel like there's so many ways to skin the cat, though. I think a lot of times what happens is people they're following a path that they think that they should be following. Whereas you're like, this doesn't feel right. This is not right for me. I want to be here. This is what I want. I'm the same way. Your company, I guarantee you, runs circles on my wholesaling company. But I don't have the vision of having the biggest or baddest or a company that's doing this. I have the vision of I need to be on the front line wholesaling real estate, and I need to set the example of not working in my company because that's what I coach. So this is what we do. We're a 7-figure wholesaling company. I don't work in that company. But now this gives me the freedom of speech to be able to coach people because my passion is coaching. That's my passion. Yeah. I love doing this. I love being on stage. I love sitting knee to knee with people. Yeah. I love helping them become the operators that they want to be to the multiple 6-figure and 7-figure level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I remember you told me that too at Starbucks. You're like, I like coaching. I like the education. Yep. You told me that, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I don't know if that's me, but I respect it.
By the way, my breed of people gets a lot of heat on social media.
What do you mean?
I am the guy they're talking about when they say guru. By the way.
Oh, I think I'm that too. They just like talk shit if you got a camera on you.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I do this business. I really do this business. But I am the guy who from the jump, I was like, most people, they close their first 6 figures. They're like, I'm going to be rich. I closed my first 6 figures. I'm like, I'm going to help so many people get rich. Because I love teaching, man. You know what I love, JR? I love the epiphany moment because I only got that. You and I only get that at certain times in our personal life. When you hit a certain level, you hit a certain understanding, and it's like, oh my God, it's like enlightenment. You know what I mean? Seeing other people do that and being able to live vicariously through them and being able to boast on their success, bro, that's a different level of high. I don't have to chase the dragon. It's the same way every single time. It's that same high. You know what I mean? So for me, coaching, that's my baby, bro.
Yeah, and I get that too. That whole guru thing, I hear a lot about it. I feel like they're talking about me too. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care. Whatever. Like, because a lot of people they think you're fronting. You know what I mean? But I have nothing to prove. Like, okay, there you go. Just stick with that. Because all the people, bro, that they never believe. Like everything's a scam. Those are the ones that don't go nowhere. Facts. They just because their mental they're not mentally capable of understanding that it's possible, and that's why they think it's a scam. But once you're in it and you see, we're not even doing nothing. Like there's people way up on the scale, in the race, right?
Facts.
And when I see that, I don't think it's a scam. I'm just like, damn, that boy is going hard. But I've never thought things were a scam. I was just like, okay. To me, that's just like a hater mentality. Like you don't want to accept that someone's doing it. You know what I mean? So that's why I think where all that guru stuff comes from. But I mean, but I don't know, because then there can be the guys that really are the ones they talk about where they don't do deals and all that. And that's kind of dangerous. Because I ain't gonna lie, I've got burned by that too. So guys, if you're out there, I've seen some of them, and they are guys that are what they're talking about, but they're rare. Because a lot of times, like, they won't be accepted in the circles because people know when you're doing deals or not.
They can call BS.
People
can call BS.
Yeah, so you're probably not in the circles. You're probably not really seeing them. That's probably like a one-off scammer. Like, you know what I mean? So I got scammed. I mean, I'm not saying I got scammed. I just didn't do my due diligence and my research because I'm sure the guy was doing deals. It just wasn't what I was thinking. You know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, that's on that topic. So we talked about wholesale and real estate. I think we covered that already. We covered the businesses. Mindset. We talked about mindset already. Did we talk about who are some of the people you look up to? Oh, you did. We did the round table.
I gave my round table.
You gave your round table. All right. So who's your favorite influencer right now? If you could just pick one.
You know what's funny is my favorite influencer right now isn't on my round table, and I need to add him. I need to add him to my round table, and it's Grant Cardone.
Oof.
Okay.
Shout out Grant Cardone, the GOAT.
Here's why. I don't particularly like his style, if I'm 100% real.
He's too raw?
He's too raw for me. And by the way, I like it because I can take it. I can take it. If he was my coach, I feel like I could take him calling my BS and holding me accountable. I don't like his style for myself and how I would approach it. But here's why I'm on a Grant Cardone tip right now. In the book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, it says one pattern of success that you see between successful people on a high level is successful people tend to promote without a conscience.
Okay.
They know how to promote. And whereas successful people often they tend to shy away from promotion, whether it's promoting themselves or promoting their idea or promoting their vision or promoting their company, promoting their brand. They're afraid to promote because in the back of their mind, they're like, I don't want to annoy people. I don't want people to feel like I'm pushy.
I felt that way.
Yep.
In the beginning.
A lot of us did.
Yeah.
But that's why we were where we were up until the point where we were in the beginning.
Right.
We were afraid to promote.
Right.
Or we just didn't know how to promote.
Yeah.
But once you and I learn, we got to put ourselves out there, dude. We have to promote. We got to get in front of eyeballs and earlobes. Grant Cardone is that dude for me. And if there's anybody who knows how to promote, bro, think about it.
Yeah.
That boy can promote, man.
Yeah.
And it's with such certainty and relentless vigor that it's like, man, let me just buy this course, bro. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he's super authentic.
100%.
Like he wears his personality on his sleeve. I love that because that's the way I am. But to get to your point, I was the same way. I would feel like, man, I'm posting too much, or man, what if they don't like this, or oh, what if they make fun of me, or what, you know, stuff like that. Like I sometimes to this day, I'll admit it, right, Albert? I'm still like, should I post this? And those are the ones that hit the hardest.
Facts,
those
bro.
Hit the hard. The ones 100%. That I question hit the hardest.
Yep.
Because that's, you know what? I think the ones that you question are the authentic you. Because you're like, that's really me. That's, you know what I mean? That's the vulnerable moment. Yeah. You're like, what if they don't like it? But you know what? I was actually hearing a podcast the other day, and it was saying how you should be authentically you, because when you're that polarizing with your character and with your personality, you're only gonna attract your real tribe, like the ones that really mess with you. And you're only going to push away the ones that aren't for you. Kind of like Kobe, kind of like all the greats. They're so good at what they do, and they're so polarizing, like Donald Trump's and all them, that they get mad fan bases because those are their true tribe. And then they push away everybody. There's no in the middle. You either hate them or you love them.
100%.
But that's because they're so authentic with their personality.
Robert Greene wrote a book called The 48 Laws of Power. One of the laws of power is called drawing a line in the sand. And basically what that means is you take a firm stance on you take a very specific and firm stance that doesn't capitulate. It doesn't compromise. It's stout. It's real. It's you. It's what you stand for. And when you draw a line in the sand, anybody who steps over onto your side, like you said, is your real follower. They're going to ride to hell and back with you. Anybody who stays on the other side, you didn't want them anyway. Bro, good example of that, because now you got my juices flowing. Good example of that. When the Colin Kaepernick stuff was happening and people were, certain players were kneeling on the field. As an entrepreneur, I loved this. Nike comes out with an ad with Colin Kaepernick on it that says, "Just do it." Now, bro, that was some courageous type stuff. Because what happened the very next day, you saw every conservative 50-year-old man on Facebook burning their Nikes, saying, "I will." Now, a lot of people who were ignorant were saying that was such a foolish, that was not, foolish move on Nike. Their stock's gonna go down, bro. The next quarter, their stock shot through the roof. Why? Because conservative men are not Nike's demographic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who's Nike's demographic?
Minorities.
It's the minorities.
Athletes.
So the line in the sand, right? They stood their ground, and the people that really followed Nike like that, man, they became fans. So now you could, when the new Nikes drop and there's a line around the store, you and I could go interview people and say, "Hey, the new Pumas are coming out and they're half the price, right?" They're gonna be like, "Man, get you." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're like, "I'm a Nike man, not a Puma man," because they're authentic. They stand by their audience. You know what I mean? So anyway, you got me thinking about that.
Yeah, I like that. No, definitely. So those are always it's those bold point of views, and that's what Grant Cardone is.
Yep.
He stands for that.
That's right.
Like, he's bold with his opinions, like crazy. And I'm like, yo, some of the stuff he says, I'm like, this man is bold, because he's such of a high profile guy, and he be saying the most, like, some of it sounds dumb sometimes, but it's him.
Yeah.
But what I like about guys like that too is, like, because my two favorite right now are Grant Cardone and PBD, Patrick Bet-David. And I like them because what we were talking about earlier, they're massively successful. Grant Cardone's a billionaire, right? I think Patrick Bet-David, he's well on his way if he's not yet, like on net worth.
I don't know if he's a billionaire yet.
He's gonna be though.
Yeah. Oh,
he's gonna be.
Absolutely.
But he's like in the hundreds of millions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Way up there.
Absolutely.
So they're very successful with business, but they started from the ground, no handouts. One of them's from like Iran.
That's right.
Didn't go to college. Same thing for Grant Cardone. I don't know, did Grant Cardone go to college or anything?
I don't think so.
Well, I know he's not from a wealthy family.
Yeah, for sure.
Just car salesman.
That's
he was
right.
literally a used car salesman.
That's right.
He's probably the most famous real estate investor right now. And one of the probably wealthiest, with his own companies. And Patrick Bet-David too, started from nothing. He's one of the most influential and, probably one of the most successful insurance agents or companies in the nation, right? Private owned. And, but to me, I like how their influence matches their business.
Yeah.
Like, they got a voice.
Yeah.
They're powerful, and they're teaching a lot of people, and they're making waves. They're making movements. So I like that. I like that a lot. So those are my two favorite, because I like, it's like kind of growing at the same rate. But that being said, successful people like these guys.
Yeah.
We're talking about influence, and we're talking business. What are some of the most important skills you think are important when creating that?
I think that the skill of marketing and promotion, which is what we were just talking about, is number one. Marketing and promotion.
Okay.
Because I got to be a business owner first, right? That's its own skill set. But I need to promote and market myself in order to influence, right? So I would say that. The next thing I would say is a burning desire to impact. A burning desire to impact. Because, bro, if you don't have a burning desire to impact people, then I don't think you're going to stick with the game of building your personal brand. There's a lot when you put yourself out there like that, you make yourself vulnerable to attacks and arrows that will come at you. Everything from how you look to how you talk to you're not real to statements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to have a burning desire, and to compete for attention in an age where you know, attention is the attention is the commodity. It's the currency nowadays. So you're competing with you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands and thousands of other people in your niche, as well as other big companies that are spending millions and millions of dollars to take away attention from what you know, the people that you're trying to market to. So that's real. I mean, it's going to take a relentless type of person to do that for sure. So these are the things that I see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with all that because, yeah, it's vulnerable putting yourself out there like that. And you got to have thick skin because people talk shit about me all the time. I'm sure they talk shit about you.
Facts, bro.
Like, you see it in all the comments, especially on TikTok. TikTok has the most haters. But what I realize is the more hate, the most hated videos are the ones that are most viral.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Once I start seeing the comments come in, like, and they're just comment after comment, hating after hating, I'm like, oh, this one's going to pop. This one's going to pop. So, like, Grant Cardone, I think, honestly, Grant Cardone built his whole brand off that hate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But eventually it turns.
Yep.
And you know what? There's a famous quote. I forgot who said it. I heard it from, who was that dude that was popping? He had glasses. He would make those commercials in the garage.
Oh,
Ty
Lopez.
Ty Lopez. But he got it from like an ancient guy or something like that. So I actually got I got a quote from Ty Lopez. I think originally it was from Gandhi, but then he switched it up. And it said, first they ignore you, and then they laugh at you, and then they hate you, and then finally they love you. So eventually it all turns.
That's right.
You got to go through it.
Yep.
I think I've already went through the ignoring part, and I think I maybe go between the laughing and the hate right now.
Yeah,
I don't know where
I'm between laughing and hate right now.
But either way, I'm not doing it for like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I love to do this. I love to create content.
Facts.
It's fun for me.
Yep.
It's also in Think and Grow Rich, the creating content. Have you seen that chapter where it talks about? But it was talking about radio broadcasting. But it's turned. It was saying when it turned from radio broadcasting to TV, and how that was like a huge shift that people needed to focus on. And now it's shifting from TV to social media.
That's right.
Because I don't want. Do you watch TV?
No.
I mean, and if we do, it's most likely content. I watch YouTube.
Yep.
And, you know, stuff like that.
That's right.
But I don't really watch movies. Rarely. I watch some Netflix here and there just to get entertained, but I don't go to the movies or nothing. But anyways, social media is super important.
Yep.
Do you think we're in like the beginning age of social media?
I think the internet just hit puberty, bro. Bro, think about it. The internet was invented when you and I were kids.
Yeah, it was in like 99, 2000.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say invented. It really hit. Like, it
went mainstream.
It went mainstream when we were kids.
Right.
You know, and we still feel like kids now. You know, we're still young. So the internet is barely hitting puberty right now.
Yeah.
Social media, like mainstream social media, was like MySpace. But Facebook really took this thing to a whole new level. Bro, social media hasn't even hit puberty, bro.
And we're in the beginning of it.
We're in the beginning of it.
And we're here. Making content.
Come on, man.
Like, YouTube's only probably 15 years old?
Yeah, bro.
Something like that. And like Instagram, TikTok, like how long have people been doing reels? Like a few years?
Yeah, bro.
And it's popping.
100%.
So it's crazy. So how important do you think that is to making content? How important do you think content is, creating content?
I think content creation is important for every business owner or somebody who has any message or cause that they need to put in front of eyeballs and earlobes.
And why?
It's important because this is how people are consuming information now. They're not reading newspapers anymore. So I don't necessarily want to put my ads in newspapers right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are consuming bro, right now, social media, IG, Facebook, IG and TikTok are being utilized largely by Gen Z and millennials as search engines, bro. People are going to TikTok and looking up how to generate more money. You know what I'm saying? People go to YouTube and look up how to learn anything.
Right.
So if I'm an educator and I want to promote my brand, you know, and I want to do informational informational marketing, dude, I need to be on YouTube or I need to be on social media in some way, shape, or form because this is how people are consuming information nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you go around anywhere, everybody's just on their phone,
Facts.
on a social media app.
Yep.
They're not just on their phone on Google. They're on a social media app.
Yep.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. That's the only apps. Twitter.
Yep.
Social media apps.
Yep.
They run the world. It's scary how powerful they are. Like how they can push a certain to a culture. You know what I mean? Like what they can push an algorithm to create, like shift cultures.
Yeah, bro.
It's scary.
That's wild.
It's scary. Like, cause they're saying like, this is just what I heard. I've never been to China, but I heard it's like an app, the Chinese app, right? And they're saying the algorithm over there is not like it is with us. You open up TikTok, you see girls shaking their butt, just bad messages all around. The music's horrible over here. Our messages are horrible in America, right? And they say over there, I mean, I guess, however their government has their good and their bad, but they can control it. And their content and their algorithms push way different type of videos and information, like only to help their people learn and grow.
Yep.
I don't know how true that is because I've never been to China and seen TikTok over there, but what do you think about it? You think that's true? Or?
I've heard from multiple credible sources that that's the case.
Really?
Because you can't, it's not that they're controlling exactly what is pushed as much as what's being incentivized through the algorithm. So what will go viral there is like engineering feats and individuals who are solving problems and using critical thinking and things like right. So individuals who are providing value and information, you're incentivized because the algorithm is going to push you out to more people to like your stuff.
We need to go to China.
Facts, bro.
We'd be popping in China. I'm struggling over here, bro. Like exactly. I'm losing to a girl shaking her butt.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, 100%. A pretty girl, a cute girl making a video, mouthing words on TikTok is going to be hotter than you and I saying,
this is how you make money.
Here's how to make money. 100%.
That's crazy.
So 50 Cent had a post about Lloyd Banks. And it was so fire. And I feel that this speaks to what you and I are doing with branding. This might hurt some feelings, but this is 50's perspective. He said, there's 3 components of a superstar. 3 components of a now he's talking about the hip hop game, but I feel like this can apply to what we're doing in branding. 3 components to a superstar. He said a superstar must have dope content. So he said Lloyd Banks had dope content. Like you remember, he was the punchline out of G Unit. He was the one who was like
dope content. Lloyd Banks was dope.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. He had the illest bars, right?
Yeah.
His point that he was making is why Lloyd Banks is not a superstar.
Okay. He was missing one.
He was missing 2.
Oh.
All right. He said the second component is you must be able to be a live performer. To be able to get in front of a crowd live and to be able to engage with them the same energy as you are when you're on the track. And to be able to engage people live, being a live performer, that's the second component of making a superstar. Think about any superstar, bro. They can perform.
Yeah.
The third component is that they must have a distinct look and or personality. A distinct look and or personality.
Gotcha.
Think about all of the superstars, bro.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, distinct look, personality. 50 Cent, Tupac, Biggie.
All of them.
Drake, Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go down the line and there's something distinct either about the way they look or about their personality that was domineering or it was eccentric in some way, shape, or form. I feel like this applies to branding as well. We have to be very cognizant of our content. We got to drop dope content in 2023.
Yeah.
But in order to be a superstar, which that's where you are going, that's where I'm going, I don't want to just be 100, like you said. I want to be the full spectrum. I don't just want to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I also want to have businesses. I want to have influence. I want to have impact. So that means I have to drop dope content. I need to make sure I'm a live performer, right? Because I'm not just this way on social media. Whenever I'm on stage, I'm the same way. Whenever I'm in person, you're gonna catch the same energy. You know what I mean? I'm a live performer. That's what at least I aspire to be. And the third thing is distinct look and or personality. Now, some may say, well, you can't pick that. You can't choose that. And I call BS. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
You might not be able to choose your look, right? But you can absolutely choose your personality, define your personality that resonates with whatever, you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree. Yeah. So okay, you got the three. All right. So you gotta have a unique personality. You gotta have the live performance, and you gotta have the dope content.
Yep.
That makes sense. It's
Yep.
simple too.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple too.
Yep.
But
here's the thing: very few people have all three.
Yeah, that is rare.
And those that do, many of those that do, just don't put in the effort. That's why you don't. That's why you only have some of the greats. That's why when you mention the GOATs, you can almost fill up your hands.
Yeah, you can't teach those things. But it's because a lot of people that I think have those unique personalities automatically create dope content. Because I don't create, like personally, when I create content, I feel like I am the content. We don't script, we don't nothing. We just bring the camera and we just freestyle all day and think of cool shit. I don't know. But I've never like tried to create good content. Have you?
I'm the opposite, bro. I do.
You
bro.
do? You think about it?
I'm very scripted, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm very scripted. And a lot of people I know, they probably won't like that, but it is what it is.
No, it is what it is. Yeah.
I'm very scripted. I'm very well thought out.
Okay.
I'm very well thought out, bro. Whenever I do anything,
I'm more on some Jay-Z. I'm just no pen. I'm just freestyling.
I'm more like Drake. I got 3 ghostwriters in the back.
Hell yeah. All right, hey guys. I hope y'all been liking this show. We went over like a broad spectrum of. Man, we went over everything.
Yeah.
We went over business, went over mindset, we went over psychology, we went over sales, we went over social media. Man, we covered everything.
Yeah.
Every time me and Earon link together, we drop bombs.
Yeah.
We drop heat. I know this video is going to do well. If y'all like this video, guys, make sure you subscribe, you drop some comments, you drop some likes, and you share it with all your friends and family because we're trying to spread these messages as far out as possible, right? That's what we do it for. We do it for y'all. So, man, coming to a close, man. Great podcast. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Appreciate you, bro.
Do you have any last words for the audience, for the viewers? Any tips you can give them to something to further help them along their journey?
Absolutely, man. I would say the fear and the challenges are not going away. Life will never get easier. If you're waiting on life to get easier, you're missing the whole purpose of this thing called life. We mentioned the 6 human needs at the beginning, and the 6th human need is the need to grow. And the only way the human muscle grows, because nature teaches us lessons, is for it to be stretched, for the muscles to rip so that it can rebuild stronger. So life will not get easier, and it's not going to get any better unless you get stronger. So run towards your fears, stay persistent, stay consistent, and you'll grow stronger. And when you grow stronger, your life will get bigger. Man, bars. Love that. Where can they find you on social media? My name, Earon Bevans, EaronBevans. And I'm Earon Bevans on IG. I'm Earon Bevans on Facebook. I'm Earon Bevans on TikTok. I'm Earon Bevans on YouTube. Go check me out and connect with me on social media. Awesome, guys. So I hope y'all got a lot of value from this. I got a lot of value from this. If you liked it, remember, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe with all your friends. You know where to find us, JR Clutch on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. So I hope y'all like the video, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay clutch.